So this is a view inside of the Sabsan train, not entirely dissimilar to the one that goes to the airport, except for it's a high-speed train. It goes to St. Petersburg from Moscow. Well, basically from the front it looks a bit like that. There's a bit of a more dramatic angle than you can see it at, of course. Surprisingly small and sleek, and apparently very, very fast. So we're in this carriageway. In this carriage is a group of rather loud Vietnamese. I don't know what they're saying. I don't understand much of that language, that's for sure. But one of them on the platform got into an argument with the porters, and they refused to let him on the train, so he won't be going to St. Petersburg. So just so that you can get an idea of the level of continual speech that we're getting from the group there. I don't know whether they will keep it up all journey for 4 hours, but hopefully not. But they certainly like talking to each other the whole time, keeping up quite a level of noise which you'd normally associate with like a school trip, like children. That's what they are, they're just like children. They can't stop. They're very excited, of course, being outside of Vietnam, and they can't stop it with their continual level of very high and shouting and yelling at each other and getting up and filming. Mind you, that's okay if you do it discreetly. I do it. But I do it for your benefits, ladies and gentlemen, so you can see what it's like to be in a Sapsan train going from Moscow to Leningrad with a bunch of Vietnamese. But there's just almost not a second goes by without one of them pipes up. It really is quite distracting. Okay, as usual, I'm doing the hotel room thing. This is the Holiday Inn in Leningrad, also known as St. Petersburg. So you see Holiday Inn. Directory services available through TV menu, which thankfully they didn't put on. It's all nice and green and firm. It's got an opportunity to take firm or non-firm. I'll probably take all of them myself, but there we go. Let's have a look and see what I've got in. It's just a nice writing desk and it's a nice big bed. Yeah, it's perfectly okay actually. What have we got here? A nice set of Barclay James Harvest or Barclay Woodruff. Woodruff is the name of a herb. That's not it, by the way, the one that they're showing. Woodruff's actually an interesting herb. I like it. It's called Asperula odorata or Gallium odoratum, depending on which classification you adhere to. But that's nothing to do with it. It's just a name, Barclay Woodruff. I doubt very much it smells of woodruff. Woodruff has a very specific smell, almost vanilla-ish. You might know it from certain drinks, or you might know it from Maibola, from the German punch type thing made in May, which is when it gives off its best odour. However, it was associated with certain cancer risks, so they stopped producing it, even though as a bed straw it was traditionally used to line beds. I've told you all about this before in a different film when we were going through something else. This looks as though it could be, I don't know what this is, some kind of a... Whoop. Well, it's unusual to have... What normally happens is when it goes down, you can open it up like that, and when it's like this, you can open it outways. But even though there's a balcony, you can't open anything really, not very far anyway. Bit of a pity. This can't be opened at all unless you've got the thing for opening it. So that's a bit of a pity, isn't it? I can't make any of this open, only that slightly, so I can't show you much, but next to this is a big building anyway by the looks. If I put my hand here, you can see what else there is out there. There's nothing much to look at. Now I'm caught by this net. How did I ever get in here? Now how do I get out of here? Oh, how did I even do that? Not sure. Anyway, back out again. Yeah, there's next to nothing in my battery nowadays. I've booked another one. There's the tea and coffee set. Flying Dragon. Greenfield tea, but and complimentary to waters. Didn't even get to see the bath, did we? But don't want to go too far with this because, like I say, I've got next to no thingy. So what we got here? Для вашей безопасности и комфорта во время принятия душа, пожалуйста, убедитесь, что штора находится внутри ванной, а резиновый коврик положен на ее дно. There we go, that's the резиновый коврик. So, okay, so it's got everything you need, especially the oops, slightly untucked shirt there, never mind. Especially the customer who's going to sleep in it. Every hotel room's happy when it's got its customer in it. There you go, that's the view from the hotel in the sort of passageway area which is out there. Better than the view from my window. This gate here is called Moskovsky Varota, the Moscow Gate. So it's obviously a site, famous site in St. Petersburg, with a great big telly screen next to it, perhaps detracting a little bit from the grandioseness of the architecture. But such is life these days. Okay, so now we see the same thing, the Moskovsky Varota, from the light. In the light, it's just after 6 o'clock, the working day is done. And as the song says, when the working day is done, accountants just want to have fun. So this is Moskovsky, that's over there's Ligovsky. And so that's obviously the Holiday Inn where I was staying, and now I just got a chance to see a little bit of St. Petersburg and its people and sights before it gets dark, which I expect will happen. It's a bit west of Moscow, so it'll be dark on that account later, but because it's further north as well, it might be on that account earlier, so I'm not sure exactly when it'll get dark, but I think I've got maximum about 1 hour to get something done film-wise, get some atmosphere of the place. It doesn't have to be the same things that I put on the... I filmed in Leningrad, or St. Petersburg as I keep on not calling it. I filmed here some time ago, some years ago, so there is a bit of filming here from way back, not much, just a little bit, and I don't have to do those bits again, I don't have to do the very centre again, but certainly just walking along this bit here up Moskovsky towards the centre, I'll see something of a different city to Moscow, hopefully find the things that my wife's asked me to buy, which as usual is sweets. Everybody would think that my wife is fatter than me, the amount of sweets she gets through, but that's not the case, thankfully. How she does it, I have no idea. Still nice and slim and lovely, even though she has quite a sweet tooth. But there you go. And so I will save the battery up for this Congress Hall Moskovsky, for anything that comes along that might be worth having a quick film of. I've got to use it anyway by the time it gets dark, because there's no point in keeping it longer. When I get back to the hotel I can charge it up again. It's not a lack of memory, it's a lack of battery, until my replacement battery comes from Amazon, because I've already ordered it, because this battery is useless now. After nearly 2,000 clips on this little machine, the battery's letting me down. So you see a slightly different look of the trolley buses here to the ones in Moscow. That's the first thing to notice. It's quite cold, by the way, today. It's about 8 degrees at the moment outside. So there's a small Orthodox thing. There's a guy who's pushing his car diagonally across the road. Policeman's, instead of arresting him, is actually helping him. You see? How much help would you get from a policeman to get your car off the road, actually pushing it for you? In the West, they just want to be taking the money for the state from you. Here in Russia, after all, it's a police state, isn't it, Russia? That's what they all say. So the policemen are always there to help you. In England they used to say that if you want to know the time, ask the policeman. These days probably get arrested for that. But in Russia, if you're blocking the traffic, if your car's turned off and you've got a problem, he'll help you go into that escape lane, help you get your bonnet up, and even help you push your car across the lanes. There you go. And there's some nice Petersburg sights. There's nice golden cupolas there, and some interesting architecture behind it in terms of probably either office or dwelling accommodation, certainly, you know, with a kind of Turkish almost look about it, with a nice big penthouse suites with the balconies at the top, and that's very nice, isn't it? So it was here in Sidmaya Simya Universam, not far from this interesting piece of architecture, that I found my wife's sweets that she wanted, which is this Nabor Konfet и Шоколада Sankt Peterburg. Also got a couple of other things, but three lots of that box of sweets that she likes a lot, so she's had it given to her as a present before, sent across from aunties and uncles via various routes. She wanted her own box of it given by her husband, so I got her 3 at once. Then that will. I can't find it in Moscow. It's a St. Petersburg local sweet, so that's why she wanted me to get it when I came here. There's also relatives and what have you here, but I don't really fancy. I've been to see them before long ago when I came here that one time, but I don't fancy landing on them every time I come here, so I won't be doing that. After a day's long socialising, which is what training is really like, ultra socialising when you're training people, I didn't really feel like any more of that this evening, so it won't be done this time. I'll do it another time. I won't forget about them, but I can't be doing it every time. Okay, this is worth something. We've got everywhere you've got these tarts cards. The guy you can see up there is just passing one on. They're both Central Asian men. They're not women at all. But when you look at the cards, I won't, because I'll be encouraging prostitution, giving out numbers. It's got numbers, little things that you can tear off at the bottom. It's got Luba 24 hours. They're basically putting these sticky things, well, as high as they can reach, but all over the place. They're basically littering both sides of everything, and everywhere that they can go. They're just walking around, simply littering the whole place. People are looking at them with disdain. It doesn't really matter to them because they're just Central Asians. And now they're placing them on the sides of buildings, making St. Petersburg look bad. I mean, you can understand it to a degree on these advertising billboards, but to stick them on the sides of buildings, really quite disgusting. And of course, Russia being now relatively unpoliced and full of Central Asians, people are doing whatever they feel like doing. There's one that's just appeared on the side of the building there, covering the information necessary for people to know about the building. Important information is being covered by this person just slapping a tarts card over the number. So that's pretty disgusting, and they're both Central Asians doing it effectively, and on they go, just carrying on slapping them everywhere. They don't care. Of course they don't care if it's an adhesive that you can't get off very easily either. They're just vandals, and hopefully before long somebody will arrest them. Oh, there's an instrument shop with all nice musical instruments from all around the world, as I can see. Lovely. This isn't quite so lovely, sort of greenfinches in a... Actually, I'm not even sure that they're greenfinches in a cage, but they're... there's a cock and a hen, I suppose, of them. That's not so nice to see. They can see the sky, but they can't reach it. There's Vladimir Pozner. He was already a speaker on Radio Moscow when I was first learning Russian, so he's a guy that's really been around the block, a Soviet guy. Definitely somebody, or there's somebody else sticking up another kind of advert. It seems a lot of people here are doing what they can to completely pepper the streets with their own useless advertising, really crap. But there you go, that's what seems to be going on. Again, it's Central Asians doing it effectively the whole time. So that's basically what goes on. That's oh, that one's for honey. That's an advert to buy honey from some strange place. There's another person doing it. It's Luba again, applying her services. She wants to meet a man. That's probably the guy's sister anyway. Probably another Central Asian woman with big eyebrows joined together at the middle, because that's part of what makes their beauty, their idea of beauty. You see, female beauty. So that's why I don't want to go there, because I don't want to become a homosexual icon. I've got big eyebrows that are a little bit hairy also between the two. In Central Asia I'd go down as a rare beauty, you see, so I don't want to be going there and getting into some homosexual relationship by accident, so I'm not going to go there. You know, these people are completely overdoing it. They don't need to put anywhere near that amount. If anybody wants the services of these women, they can easily find them with only about a third of the amount of advertising that these guys are doing. So that just counts as vandalism, really. They're covering up valuable information like the bus timetables or where the fire hydrants are. They're covering up with these things. It's absolutely ridiculous, really, what they're doing. And we just pass the corner. You never know what's going to happen when you pass the corner. There's this beautiful church. So let's walk down here a little bit towards it and see what happens. Also, it's starting to annoy me what those guys are doing, and I might end up in a fight with them if I don't get out of the way of what they're up to, because it's completely annoying me. So we'll go down here for a while. We just came off Moskovsky, which is all the time Moskovsky. What's this one called? I can't really see it because probably somebody's plastered a tarts card over it, but well, I don't know. I can work it out probably by putting the map on in the phone, but I can't see it from here, unfortunately. It's not on this side; it's only on the far side. So there we go. But there's a very interesting church with the like stars, or like golden stars on a blue top. It's almost like the stars on the sky. I'm actually walking a bit today because it's the end of the month and it's the end of the quarter. It's the 30th of September. This is the first month this year when I've broken my no, Первая Красноармейская улица is the answer to the question. First Red Army Street. So it's the first month this year that I've actually broken the record of 5 a day. I will have done by the time, even if I left it until when I get back. If I walk back from here, I would have covered it. I was well ahead of last week. I had a few days when I was under because of bad weather, but not so far under that I can't make it all back again today. So it'll be the first month that I've gone over the average of 5.5 per day for the whole month. 5.5 kilometers, that is. And that'll also make it the best quarter of the 3 so far. It's also the best quarter of the 3 I can already tell on language. So that's both those things are working out quite well. Hopefully it will be a bit better on money, on savings, and the other things in which I basically measure my quarters. I've got a whole series of measurements, all weighted, and they give me a performance measure against what I expect. And there's no way that I could do 100%, but if I can get over 70, well, that's very good. And that's about where I am now, at 70 so far these quarters, but hopefully I'll push it up until about 75%. Unfortunately, what I'm not getting 100 on is that I'm not keeping my blogs up and my filming up as heavy as I wanted. If I did all that, then I'd be on 100, and if I were writing, I'd be on 100. But I haven't got time for all of those things, so I just do the things which are probably the most important for my family and for me not going mental, which is things like language learning, saving money, losing weight, walking, things like that, fasting. So there we are. I'm fasting today. By the way, it's a Monday, so it's another fast day. So the amount that I've done so far today has been on an empty stomach, but I will stop at 8:30. That being 12 hours after I put my feet on the floor. I'm already at the end of the battery, I'm afraid. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to keep on turning it on and off again. There we are, so you can see it up nice and close, and the interesting clouds in the background. That's an interesting looking, rather historic looking market. And there's something on the top of that column there as well.